What's up, AJ Varela? I'm gonna make a quick video, 5 things to think about before you join any military branch, because it's kind of universal in any service that you've joined, these topics. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Excuse my nose, I'm sorry. Anyway, the first thing to think about is missing home. Are you willing to go long periods of time without your loved ones, your mom, dad, sister, brother, girlfriend, brothers? I think I already said that. Anyway, are you willing to go long period of time without them? I know you don't. You're gonna have to leave someday. You're not gonna be at home. I hope not. I hope you're not at home for the rest of your life, living with your mother, being babied by your mom and dad. You know what I mean? So it's gonna happen eventually. The reason it's so hard for most people in the service is because they joined right out of high school. So all they know is their home. All they know is being babied by their mother and father and hanging out with their brother or sister. So are you willing to go long periods of time without being home? And you're gonna have to eventually. It's just coming right out of high school, it's all you know. Personally, my experience on missing home, I do miss home, but I don't think I miss it as much as anybody else, because my parents haven't been, I lived with my dad for a very long time. I moved back and forth with my mom and dad because they weren't together, and eventually I just stayed with my dad. I didn't live with my mom, and I always seen her like certain times of the year or whatnot. So I wasn't nurtured by my mother as much as some people are. So fortunately and unfortunately, I miss my mom, just not as much. Like, I'm used to it, I guess. I still miss my mom, but I'm used to it. And my dad, I hadn't, like, it's not the same as a mother's love. With your dad, you learn to be tougher, you know? So I miss my dad and he misses me, but it's like, you know, it's the father-son relationship. Like, it's gonna be okay. And that's one thing to think about. Are you willing to stay away from family and friends for long periods of time? Another one is, you will not have privacy, at least for the first year in the Marine Corps, until you become an NCO when you can actually get a room to yourself. Excuse my nose, but are you willing to not have privacy? At boot camp, you're gonna be in a room with 100 different recruits, so many different diseases going everywhere. People think like you're gonna have to shower with these dudes. You're gonna have to shower with these dudes for 3 months. You're gonna have to poop with them, shave with them, brush your teeth with them. Are you willing to have no privacy? Are you willing to have your junk hanging around 100 different dudes? I mean, people think, other dudes think your masculinity is gonna deteriorate or you're gonna become less of a man just because you're showering with other dudes. It's like, it's up to you. Are you willing to do that? To have no privacy? Right now I'm in a room. It has 3 beds. It's supposed to hold 3 people. Luckily, I'm the only one in here right now. I'm sure I'll get another person or 2 people in here when the weeks come by. So are you willing to go with no freaking privacy? I also have a bathroom over here that I share with the room across, and there's 2 people over there. So if I have to pee and there's somebody already in there, I have to wait till they're done. I'm gonna knock on there, feel bad because I'm telling them to hurry up. But are you willing to go with no privacy? Another one I've written down is following orders. That's what the military is about. It's about following orders, whether how dumb it sounds. There's always, there's a valid reason for it. Are you willing to follow orders? There's people who went to boot camp and thought, man, I'm not gonna listen to the drill instructor. They can yell at me all they want. I promise you that changes real quick. There's people who actually retaliate against an order that is given to them, and they don't make it. You're not going to make it if you do not listen. And there's also people who thought that but ended up learning that it's important to listen to an order that you're given. So it's up to you. Do you think you will be able to learn to follow orders if you already don't? If not, the military is not for you. Here's a very serious one. Are you willing to die for your country? Because eventually that's what the military is for. It's not to die for your country, it's to protect your country against foreign and domestic enemies. But just like the World War III memes were going around, and people were making memes about, oh, I'm gonna get hurt, blah blah, so the people don't come knocking on my door and I don't get drafted. If you're somebody who posted one of those memes, it's not for you, because one day if there ever is a World War III and there is a draft, that means we're going first. It doesn't matter what your job is. If they need people on the ground, they're gonna have people on the ground. So are you willing to die for your country? It's a very serious one, and it's kind of overlooked when people join the military. Like, that's kind of like the sole purpose of the military, is to protect your country. And the last one, the fifth one, is, are you willing to lose very basic freedoms, such as going out in town alone, not posting what you want on social media, not wearing what you want, not having like your personality on the room, like you can't have posters? Are you willing to get rid of like certain foods because the base doesn't allow them to come on here? Very, very, very basic freedoms. Are you willing to lose them to become a better person? Because in any branch, you will become a better person. You're held to a higher standard than anybody else in the world, anybody else in your country at least, that's not in the service. So 5 things to think about before you join the service. Are you willing to get away from home, family, friends for long periods at a time? Are you willing to go with no privacy at all? Are you willing to follow orders? Are you willing to die for your country? And are you willing to lose basic freedoms? Hopefully this helps you out if you're thinking about joining. If you're already have a ship date for boot camp, good luck to you. You will be fine. Just stay headstrong.